All right, hello, welcome to Adventures in Lollygagging. We're back today. We're playing more One Ring 2nd Edition. We are continuing our Forging of Shadow campaign, and we are in the Dimrill Dale. We are on the cusp of Moria, but the door was closed, so I'm assuming we're just going to turn around and go back the way we came. Right.
I mean, you knock twice, you see if anybody answers, and then you go find somebody else to go hang out with.
You guys could do. You could get a big, giant bag of like dung, set it on fire, knock on the door, and then run and see what happens.
We just have a burning bag of dung.
Right.
Because no one answers the door.
Then we just have
if you
to
guys have thought about strategies, for how to get that door open, how to get inside, if you need to get inside. Just wondering. I'm just throwing out ideas. Just trying to be helpful.
Not so much other things first, perhaps.
I assume the dwarves had keys. Like, why would we come all this way if you don't have keys?
But you come all this way and then realize you left the ring that has that key on it at home. And
it's the wrong pants. It's in the wrong
left
pants.
The ring at home.
Oh, man.
It's called Lord of the Rings, not Lord of the Key Rings. I'm just saying. Let's go. Oh, that could have been a title. We could have done that. The Forging of Key Rings.
Lord of the Key Ring.
Lord of the Key Rings. There we go. And it's not about the actual ring. It's just about a dude who makes a key ring. You're not wrong that doors had keys. Sadly, though, you don't. And they are not, the keys to Moria are not really like common things, right? So, which is to say they don't exist. It's just so much has been lost, basically, from the fall of Khazad-dûm, and lots of things haven't.
We need to get the lockpicking lawyer on the line, figure out how to get in here.
Mm-hmm. Call the cops and just see if you can get someone, there's some squatters, like there's a bunch of orc squatters inside. Can we do something here? Come on, right?
Just open the door and we'll kind of take it from there.
It becomes a courtroom drama where the squatters are just like arguing for squatters' rights and like, get some elf sitting up. Elrond's like the judge. I'll write this down.
And really, it's just going to be like,
Judge Judy is an elf.
I really hate how into this I am.
I think this has got legs, right? I think this could definitely work. There's some other ways we can get, like you could pretend to be like a DoorDash delivery. Just be like, hey, is there an Azog here? An Azog?
You have to pronounce it wrong, though.
I got a delivery of 5 guys.
Azog.
Is it a period Zog? I don't know. Anyway,
Also,
I'm just going to leave your 5 guys on the ground.
Alternately, you just go with like housekeeping and just see, like they've probably been making a mess in there,
Basically, the doors open up and a giant hand comes up and hangs a do not disturb sign. No.
Lots of options.
There's lots of options, and maybe we'll figure one of those out. We'll see what's up, because the doors were closed, and they were huge doors. They were enormous doors. I don't know. I don't think I really did them justice in describing them, but they were literally the size of a mountain, basically. So yeah, it's not the type of thing. Maybe where a key doesn't necessarily work. Who knows? We'll see.
So we just need to like back up a little bit, and we probably missed like a keypad or like a camera somewhere that we need to like wave into like the camera and then like open the door.
Just crawl through the vent somewhere,
There's always a vent.
It's like a Deus Ex.
Always a vent.
It's like a Deus Ex level or something like that, level design. There's an orc somewhere you can talk to, like earlier in the valley, that you guys skipped over. Now you have to retread to, and he'll tell you.
The quest giver, we there's a side quest here that we missed. Like we were just
there's the combat way in, there's the social way in, there's the sneaky way in, and then there's probably like a tech way in somewhere. Yeah.
Do I have to print out the game FAQs for this one? Like go through all the text.
Did you ever use GameFAQs.com?
All the time. Oh
my God, seriously, man. God.
I remember one time I printed off one of the game facts because I was a kid and I didn't know like how big it was. And after like it used like this whole ream of paper, I'm like, I am in so much trouble because we're now out of paper and it still wants to print. And I was like 9, so I didn't know how to cancel it.
No.
Oh my God. They're so great, and I like the ones that had like the ASCII art and everything, and then there were people who try to draw.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like the Final Fantasy logo somehow or something like that,
Oh,
just with keystrokes.
I was doing Zelda Ocarina of Time, so it did have all the art for like the maps and stuff.
Yeah. Oh goodness gracious! All right, well, I guess that was enough of a walk down. Maybe GameFAQs has a way in. Yeah, it's true. Maybe they do.
I'm sure it does.
Ooh.
Google it. Just
If anyone does.
Yeah.
That's someone's perhaps equipment. GameFAQs notes.
Jeff's been publishing all his GM notes on GameFAQs this whole time.
Make that your helpful item. Yeah. I have a tome of GameFAQs.
So, and like when you have to travel somewhere, you find like a scroll of MapQuest. It's like,
okay. I like that too.
You're dating yourself there with MapQuest, you know.
As opposed to
GameFAQs, which is very timely.
Right?
Let's do a little poll.
Thank you.
Let's do a little poll in the chat. Go ahead and hit #old if you think Melissa's old. Still very
well. This top row is not doing very well, is it?
Nope. We're old. Okay, well, we might as well get going before it gets too late, because we're gonna miss the country kitchen buffet if we take it longer. So let's get started.
I gotta get my senior discount.
You do. Last time around, this is episode 4. We're on episode 3 now. So last time around, we started up at the River Folk Trading Post. I'm not sure if you all remember that. You made some quick introductions, kind of got to know some people. You met someone named Yadval and Seva. Those were the people who ran it, the river folk who ran it. They had their 2 little children, Dovey and Lan. You met Inglid, son of Ingamar, who was from Woodland Hall, as a woodman. And there was also someone or something named Burgle. It's very small in stature, fisherman who kept his distance, but did at one point trade Calvain a fish after Calvain gave him something. And then there was another figure who was referred to as Tig, was kind of camped away from the actual trading post, but no one really interacted with him. But he is the one that was apparently sold some dwarven metals and old weapons that eventually I think Agda bought or traded for. You learned some things because you've been searching for Vidar, who is Vidar, who is Sin's brother, and you've also been looking for Nal, who is like mentor, well-known, like renowned smith, and they had disappeared kind of, and you were a little behind them, and you had heard that they were traveling on a barge, and you kind of got confirmation here, but they did leave like a week ago or so to head for the Dimrill Dale and apparently a place called the Mirror, which all of our dwarven characters would absolutely know. Inglid agreed to take Grimhild back, who was that injured Bjorning. So he was actually going to deliver her back to your people, Medwin. Arcinius, who was the healer that you had met in Gladden Fields, he did return. He left to go back to his house, but did invite you to come visit. In the morning, you continued on. You traveled down the Anduin way, and then you kind of traveled across the West Nether Vales. You discovered this stretch of the old dwarf road that sped your travel for a little bit, but then it kind of travel started to slow as the foothills of the Misty Mountains came. It's around there that Agda and Edda, you found this old campsite that looked like it was ambushed by orcs, maybe like a year or so ago, something like that. In it, Edda, you had discovered a small pouch of treasures, little keepsakes. And then eventually you all reached the Dimrill Dale the next day and then followed the Silver Lode, which is the river, up to the Mirror. Agda, Medwin, you kind of were pushing around to search towards this northeastern side or northern side of the valley where there looked to be some old ruins, while the rest of you decided to go check out the state of the East Gate. The massive gate, as we already said, was closed. You did find this orc body that was festering in the nearby mud. And then while searching the old ruin, Agda and Medwin, an orc arrow nearly hit Medwin, I think. Then you start to hear some drum beats. And then before you were able to see exactly where it came from, you heard a voice, this old voice, beckoning you to kind of hide as you looked over and you saw an old face, very old, leathery face, lifting up some false stone panel and telling you that you guys were idiots. And I think we're going to go ahead and we're going to start up right there. Medwin, Agda, there's every now and then you hear the clank of an orc arrow as you're caught amidst these ruins, some steps, some columns, some piles of stone. This panel is up. You see a woman's face. You realize very quickly, Agda, that it is a woman because you would be able to tell immediately. Medwin, it might be a little harder for you, but she looks ancient, kind of a fairly large nose, like forge scarred here and there. You can see burns and things like that. Her hands, you can tell, are just covered in burns and scars, but it's very clearly a dwarf. Her skin looks a little ragged and pale, but she does beckon you forward. How do you two respond in this moment?
Medwin, get down, get inside. Right now.
Yeah, Medwin doesn't look a gift horse in the mouth. He rushes forward and, baseball slides in.
Okay, so you rush over, you baseball slide in. What about you, Agda? Do you just do what she says?
Absolutely. She'll kind of like push Medwin inside and then jump in after.
Okay, yeah. So the two of you, you jump in right at the sound as like arrows clink, clink, clink. And then the woman who is holding it, the dwarven woman who is holding it, she lets the big false panel down. You hear like a little thump. And as you drop down, you realize you're in a crunched, very tight, dark space. There is a small lantern giving off a little bit of light. There's dust, there's debris, there's a ragged little space for where apparently she's been sleeping. And then there's like a couple different routes that you can crawl out, little tunnel routes. And for you, Medwin, it's much more hunched. For Agda, it's not as bad. Like you can probably stand up straight, but Medwin, you feel a little bit more crunched. And she looks at the two of you with a face that honestly looks like she has been disagreeing with people for her entire life, for centuries. And she's just like, "What's wrong with you? I just found this good one. Now they're gonna know where I am. I'm gonna have to switch again. Oh, goodness gracious. Oh, what's wrong with the two of you?
You have my thanks.
Our
Good
apologies.
Sir.
Our apologies.
Sorry. Oh, shit. Yeah. And when you look at her, by the way, you notice now in the light, Agda, you can see there's she's got these two bandages. One, it looks like it's up kind of by where her neck meets her shoulder, and then one is in her leg. And you can tell that she has been through some things. But she's just like spitting mad. She's like, first I had to leave the first night and the second night, and now not again. I thought for once I could make some progress here. Don't you know how to move quietly and silently through a place? Isn't that something they teach you?
We've been doing our best, and Agda's kind of like brushing her, she, wet and rainy and everything. She's brushing herself off, and she does kind of a little bit of a bow. Agda, daughter of Hulda, at your service.
Yeah, Agda. Njol, yes, the Iron Hills, la. And who's this?
We've been looking for you.
Oh, have you now? Well, congratulations, you found me. Oh, could you probably have possibly found me before you alerted whoever it was up in those cliffs, up in the canyons there? Do you know how hard it was to give them the slip this morning? Oh, goodness gracious, yous. Oh.
I did try to find you first, but I admit you're pretty well hidden in this little hole.
You think that's kind of the point? Oh, my goodness. This place is crawling with orcs, goblins, and other foul things. You're not supposed to be moving about like you own the place, which you certainly don't, mister.
We're very quite honored to meet you very much. This is Medwin.
Medwin.
Pleasure to meet you. Let me stick out my hand.
All right. And she reaches and she grabs it and she like squeezes, like for an old lady, her like a vice grip in her hand is leathery and it almost feels like a stone grip. All right.
Medwin kind of like turns that into a contest a little bit. Like when he feels the grip, he tries to like grip a little bit harder too.
Roll an awe test. See if you can make an impression.
Of course he does.
Hell yes.
Oh, my feet die didn't do very well. That's a failure for me.
Yeah, you try, but she squeezes just a little harder. And at a certain point,
I kind of let out a little wince.
Yeah. Oh. And you could tell she was just staring you down with like the most serious face. And then right when you wince, little tiny bit of a smile. And she lets go. All right.
No,
it's all right.
We've come. There's 5 of us in total that came to find you. We've got Vidar's sister, Sin, with us. I don't see...
You've got Vidar's sister with you. Where is she? Hey.
Well, she and my sister, Edda, and Calvain and Elf with us. They all went to the gate, and Medwin and I came this direction.
Gate? Why would they go to the gate? The thing's guarded to high heaven. What's... Oh, goodness gracious. You make it all the way here and you get shot down or at the gate.
What about Vidar?
Well, he's not here. You can't see him. They took him. It's time for storytelling later. We gotta get them fools away from the gate and hidden away before the goblins up on the walls take him out.
They've got him.
Come on, come on.
We've got to tell Sin. She's been so worried.
Well, she's going to be a little more worried if she takes about 30 or 40 frickin' orc arrows to her, so let's make sure we get her down here. And the rest of whoever the lot it is you brought with you, sisters, brothers, it's not a family affair, let's go. Oh, goodness.
Medwin looks at Agda and he's like, she's got a point.
You, big fella, you faster than you are strong at least?
I'm very fast.
Okay.
Fastest you've ever seen.
How far away are they?
Other side of the mirror.
Oh, goodness. All right. And yo, what I want you to do, and she like points it out, and she's just like giving orders. I want you to get up there, and I want you walking towards the stair, you see? Okay, you start walking towards the stair, you pretend like you're gonna go up it, but make sure you're always behind something, you see? You don't got to worry too much, they're not coming out during the day, it's not overcast today. But they're firing at you down from all of those little kill slits and such. You can't really see them. You never really know what the arrow's going to come from, but you know which side of the canyon it's going to be on. So make sure you keep something between yourself and the wall where the gate is. You got me? Start working that way, and they'll start peppering you with arrows and leaving Mr. Fastpants over here to be able to go get your friends.
You sure you don't want me to also run like he's running? You just want me to saunter all casual-like?
Yeah, saunter casual, like, because then they're going to start firing at you. We want them to shoot the arrows at you, you see.
Oh,
I think you're the
bait.
Right. Oh, you're going to make an old woman do it. Oh, well, that's very, very generous and chivalrous of y'all. Oh, okay. Yeah, I've already taken a few, as you can see.
Do you need any additional bandage? And I'm a little good at it.
We've got to do it. There's a timer on this situation. Oh my goodness gracious, you young dwarfs these days. Your heads are just filled with mud. Let's go. Come on now.
My boots are filled with mud too, I've got to say.
Well, I'm going to take them off and dump them on your head right now if you don't get them moving.
But all casual like. I can do that.
You know, you don't move too quickly, don't move too slowly. Just walk casual, you see.
Yep, got it. And Agda looks at Medwin like,
good luck,
terrified to be in the bait.
Okay, I want rolls from each of you. You can make a case for something. I think Medwin's probably athletics. But yeah, but Agda, you can make a case for something. You're really just trying to like draw
I'll also
attention.
take athletics.
Sure.
Yeah. Not stealth because I want them to see
for me.
Look at you.
Fantastic.
Congratulations. Let's see how I can do. That's a fail, but it was really close to being an eye there. So, like,
It was really close, huh? I don't.
All right, so Agda's dead.
Hang on. Let me just check the One Ring rulebook here for what really close means.
I just meant in the image of the die rolling, it was almost an Eye of Sauron, and then it wasn't. So that was
so sassy.
Okay. I've been working on my null. She's a sassy old lady. Okay.
You've embraced.
So it's bleeding into me a little bit. It's just bleeding into me. Okay. So we see the two of you pop back up. She holds the false panel up. Agda, you go first, and you start sauntering through the ruins, and you hear pretty quickly, clink, 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 as various arrows kind of land. You look around, you see no signs of any orcs, any goblins, and you start to realize they are raining down from that large canyon wall just to the west of you. And you start moving along, and Medwin, once you start hearing the clinking, you realize it's time to run, and you run. And Medwin, you make a break for it, and it's pretty quick. It's pretty quick before you don't hear anything anymore. Unfortunately, Agda, you failed, which means you're
Good.
going to suffer moderate endurance loss here. So that means it's favored on this roll. Well, that's good. It means you lost. Like, I actually rolled a Sauron on one of them, so that would have knocked you out completely. But instead, I rolled a 5. You take 5 points of endurance loss.
Okay, and this doesn't.
This is
protection
from. No, this is just the result of failure. As you move, you're kind of getting cut here and there. Maybe not a full-on shot, but a slice here, a slice there. As an arrow kind of clips you. You get your ankle kind of caught in some ruins and maybe twisted a little bit. It's just the wear and tear of moving and trying to dodge out of the way of these things. Meanwhile,
so that puts me at weary, actually. So we were just talking before stream about how much load and fatigue and everything that I've gotten.
Sure. Meanwhile, over by the East Gate-ish area, we see EDDA, Calvain, Sin. I think the three of you, excuse me, you had already started kind of, I think you were backing away from the gate. If I recall, it's been a couple weeks. But
we had a body that was kind of messed up, and it kind of freaked us out.
I think we're poking around with the body.
Okay, so you're at the body, you're poking around it. It is mangled and it is festering. It's definitely been cut and slashed a bit. And then it's been out in the sun, and you can see it's definitely been here for a little while. And it is very clearly an orc body. The three of you can roll awareness tests if you like.
Okay.
All right, let's see. I see a Gandhi.
Got a success.
Okay.
EDDA did not succeed.
All right. This makes sense. The dwarves, you don't hear it, but Calvain, you do. The sounds of horns, drums, something like that, music, but it's like thum, thum, but it's like far off and muted, but you can hear it vaguely. It's not coming from the gate per se, but it's definitely coming from down the shore maybe, or maybe up by the rock. It's hard to pinpoint it exactly since you only had a single success. You didn't have any bonus, but you certainly hear the sounds of like drums, like a thump, the thump, thump, something like that.
The alert dwarves. The sound of battle echoes through these valleys. We must make haste.
We must find Agda and Medwin.
Perhaps
They ran to the towers to the north.
leave.
Okay. Let's try and keep cover as much as we can as we rush that way.
Okay. Do you want to go back the way you came? If you recall, the Mirror is a fairly lengthy lake. It's not particularly wide, but it's lengthy, right? And the Silver Lode comes up from the south and connects to it, and then the Mirror continues, like kind of cutting into the mountains to the north. You kind of cut across and trudged across the Silver Lode to the south. Do you want to just go back the way you came? And you also recall seeing that there were a series of mounds or small structures on the western side of the lake as well. But you had bypassed it just to come straight up to the gates and take a look. So what do the three of you like to do?
The mounds we saw, would that be enough to give us cover or keep us hidden? Or is it pretty...
Potentially.
Open? Yeah, we can make our way towards that.
Yeah, that's what Zen's thought is too. Because if EDDA recommends cover, moving with cover, and Calvain members where cover is, that makes sense.
Okay, so you begin to back away from this open space. There's a huge open space underneath this massive gate, underneath the mountain wall, and you start to descend the ramp that leads up to it. And if you recall, there's kind of like a little pathway that went down towards these mounds. When you move, you're going to feel the ground underneath your feet here and there, kind of not muddy, but definitely churned up a bit, loose. And when you descend towards the edge of the lake, you actually can see little signs of this almost yellowing grass here and there. It's like it's not quite vibrant. But you do see that there are these 6 relatively grassy hillocks that are kind of in a semicircle. And you can see that there is a gap in the circle that's kind of facing the lake. And so when you come down, you're coming behind the semicircle, basically. And you can see the lake on the other side. But as you start stepping, each of you feels something doesn't feel right to you. The ground itself starts to feel loose, and you look down at a few of these specks of grass. It just seems to be growing in a way that doesn't quite have the vibrancy that you're familiar with. Everything feels just a little bit off in some fashion. You also see a handful of crows way up in the sky, kind of swirling around here and there. And in addition to the mounds, you also notice at the center of the semicircle, there is like a large standing stone. And right at like where the small pathway that you've been on going down this slope meets that semicircle, there's also this crude wooden gibbet. It's kind of just standing there, and there's an iron cage hanging from it. And it very much looks like there's a body inside of it.
Do you think they were captured? Does this look like a kind of like a graveyard area? Like,
not a graveyard. No, the hillocks are too big for that. So you probably wouldn't call it a graveyard. If you would like, you could roll maybe a lore test, or even a riddle test, maybe in this case, to try and sort out what this could be.
Let's rip riddle. That would be fun.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, anyone can do it. So Calvain, if you wanted to roll lore, you can also do that too.
Yeah, I'll go for that one.
Scholar.
Jeff, I may have gotten an eye of Sauron.
You did.
Yeah.
You did.
You guys are pretty high up on that eye awareness score. You guys are taking a lot of
Yes, we
shots.
are.
Yeah. That's the flip
I
side
haven't
of
been
like,
getting
let's
it.
just rip it and see what happens. What happens? Could be.
I haven't been getting much of that from Saris, but I've been getting it from Shadow, so that's useful. Because I also get it when you guys take Shadow. Okay, so fail from Sin, fail from EDDA.
Regular success on the lore.
Okay.
So no riddle successes.
Okay. When EDDA, maybe EDDA says that out loud, like, is this a graveyard? And Calvain, maybe that kind of triggers something in your, not necessarily memory, but this definitely looks not like individual graves, but like grave markers of some kind. And it certainly looks like a burial ground. So not like individual grave markers, but instead like mass graves. But none of them are recent. Like this is all the mounds look like they're covered at this point in like that yellow green grass. So they've been here for some time. What would you like to do?
This isn't recent, Edda. It's been here a while. Grave markers.
But what if this is my people?
They are buried.
But what do we do?
We have to get away if something is coming.
You said there was like a cage or something?
Yeah, a gibbet. It's like a hanging cage essentially. It's where they would put prisoners, and there is a body inside of it. You can see it from here. I'm saying you're a handful of feet away from like the semicircle, from the gibbet, from that stone, like standing stone. Like you guys have.
Okay.
You're like observing this from 15,
from a little bit of a distance.
20 feet away. Yeah.
Okay. And we know that we've
Calvain,
heard.
do you see that body in the cage? Is that not another orc?
We can all see it, but I need to get closer for a better look.
Well, if you squint, maybe elvish eyes can see. But yeah, if you take a couple steps closer and kind of squint your eyes a little bit, it very much is another orc body. Absolutely. And just like the festering one, it is not old. Like this hasn't been sitting here for years and years. It's relatively recent. It looks like it's again fairly butchered and such. And that's like just you getting a few feet closer and looking.
Looks like the butchered body that we saw at the gate. Another orc.
Okay,
we
need to be careful.
We cannot be here.
I'll say at this point, if no one's going to do anything further, you suddenly see a figure racing towards you, and you see the flowing locks in the wind of Medwin, and his crooked body coming around the mirror, like coming at you guys. Like, so you guys are like on the western side of this semicircle, and he is racing up from the southern side of it. And Medwin, you're now in the scene.
We found Njal. Agda's being peppered with arrows. Njal had a plan. I realize I don't know part 2 of the plan. I think I'm supposed to bring you back. So we should go.
If you found her, what's with her?
She has a story to tell, but now is not the time for stories. So let's go back and we'll ask her the story.
He's not with her?
Not currently. Not in the hole that she was in.
You said Agda's being peppered with arrows, and EDDA takes off running.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't need a breather. Let's go.
Okay. Do you all leave and start running back?
Yeah, we'll follow.
Yeah.
Okay. So eventually you will get back to the ruin. At this point, I'll say, Agda, you like raced over as you were instructed to the base of the Dimrill stair, essentially. And you know that is a very long and sort of zigzagging stair that goes all the way up to like Redhorn Pass, and it potentially can lead over the mountains. But the stairs are quite large, and you race up to them. You buckle down for a second, a few arrows, plink, 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 catch your breath, and then you start racing back. And we'll say you get back in time to see your compatriots, your sister, Sin, Calvain, Medwin, racing up as well. And despite the fact that there are occasionally arrows raining down on you and an occasional sound of a drum, you still don't see any signs of orcs. There's like nothing here. And Agda, you never at any point saw anything. It's also bright. And you all know that orcs have a tendency to move about in the darkness. So they only really come out during the day, usually if there's like overcast. And right now it's not so bad. But we'll say all of you race over, sweat pouring down from your brows. And you can see that false panel gets wedged open and all of you start scrambling down inside. Okay, let's see. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Good job, you two. You did a good job. Okay.
Oh, quite.
Where's Vidar?
He is, as I said to your speedy friend here, Vidar's been taken, by the orcs and some goblins and such, but don't worry, we'll find him. We'll find him.
Fully false.
It's okay.
How many days ago was it that he was taken? Have you seen him since he was taken? And Agda's just sort of running through questions.
Oh, let's see. So, we've been here for almost 9 days, maybe? It's hard to tell. I haven't been outside every one of them, but we got here, the east gate was shut. We found an old dwarf hole, not this one obviously, but up in the canyon. We followed a mountain goat path. I think it was the third night. We heard the gates open, and they stayed open until yesterday. And I heard them close, and then the fourth night. It was the fourth night, yeah. That's when we got ambushed. And we hadn't really seen hide nor hair of anyone, except when we got close to the gate itself. And that's when we ran, we fled, of course. But the path to the Silver Lord was guarded, blocked by orcs, and we ran for the watch, the Dimrill Watch, where we're at now, and Vidar was, very bravely trying to hold off the band while I was looking for a hiding place. Sometimes these old dwarven smiths, they leave little markings, masonry markings, and a hideaway route or something. And eventually I found one, but it was too late. Vidar, they got him. He was alive when I saw him last. They were tracking him back to the gates. If they wanted him dead, they could have killed him there. So that's a good news, but the orcs have been coming out every night since the gates closed. They've been coming out of somewhere. I don't know where exactly, but they've been coming out and they've been searching. They've been searching here. I know they're looking for me. I saw a band night before last go up the Dimrill stair, and then I think it was it yesterday maybe? Oh, yeah, I think it was yesterday when I went down to the Silver Lord to refresh my water. It was night. It was during the day, and there was a group of them. They were waiting for me. They ambushed me there, like in the open, in the sun. It was overcast, of course, but there was some cranky old-looking orc with a big old hat. He was chasing after me and such. They got 2 arrows in me, but I got away. And then they've been, trying to terrorize me since then, with the drums and with the arrows. But they can't find me, you see. There's all sorts of these little tunnels down here you can hide in it. If you're careful and if you're quiet, you can move around. So I've been moving around. Whew. Okay.
That's good news then. Can you take us to where you were shot?
Can I take you to it? It was just on the Silver Lord, I said. Just along the river, probably back the way you came.
They're coming in and out, and that means a way in for us.
Exactly. They're somewhere away. This whole watch, the whole place, all of Khazad-dûm, they've hidden spots here and there, tunnels and such, caves sometimes. The problem is that most of them, they were shuttered, you see. So, all of the old places that were ever documented, you can't really open them. And so I'm looking, I've been looking. I've been busy, you'll see. I've been looking. We'll find a way. And now with more folk here to look, we can cover more ground. Yeah. Good news, yeah?
So you said that the gates haven't opened in the last few nights, but they're still coming out different way.
Yeah.
So which ways have you tried? Have you gone up the stairs?
You want me to go up the stairs with this thing in my leg? And she points down to her leg. There's like an arrow, like half an arrow sticking out of it.
Oh, perhaps our elvish friend can help you with that. She's right good with the healing.
Medwin kind of grimaces after remembering.
Would you like me to remove that from your leg? It seems uncomfortable.
Well, I wouldn't mind it. I don't feel so good. I'm not too proud to say. I fear they've got something on the arrows, moving through me, making me sick, making me hear things,
I'll see if I have something down here.
All right, well, thank you, Master Elf. Thank you. Okay.
We did find some fresh orc bodies.
Oh, yes, they don't seem to all... Not one big happy family here, it doesn't look like. Oh, they, some of them don't seem to like each other. Yeah.
So you can tell us the ways that you've tried to find a way in, and then we can, like, not go over the same path that you went on, and we'll find all the options.
I've been going down the tunnels, I said. I've been looking. I've been digging up the stone, looking for the markings. I've been finding where the cave-ins might be able to be unearthed and such. It's somewhere down here. In the old days, the Watch had 2, maybe 3 different routes down into the tunnels, you see. Maybe into the Dwarf Delve. I'm not sure. But certainly into the old Moria holes. But
What's the Dwarf Delve?
It's the old city of the doors. What did you bring this one for? He looks at, like, the 3 doors. What do you...
Because I can run fast.
I suppose.
We've all got our skills, and we're here to help you. Glad we came when we did. Wish we could have gotten here a little bit sooner.
Well, everything's under control, of course, but, if you want to assist, I wouldn't mind a little bit of assist, but I have, I have everything under control, you see, but,
Of course, we're here to help. We're going to find Vidal with you. Vidar.
Right, well, sure, absolutely. We're going to find the young man. He's a good man.
Why didn't you bring guards with you?
Why didn't I? Oh, well, a smith need not be Telcar to know when to hammer and when to carve, You bring too many folk. Oh, you can't move quietly. You can't move quickly. Besides, King Dane, he didn't really want me to go. He was sending the warriors to babysit us and to get in our way. Wouldn't let us explore or find nothing. They would just cramp our style, you see. No. This was much better. But, not much better. Maybe 2 or 3. Let's just say...
I think we're pretty cramped at this point.
There's plenty of room.
Getting increasingly angry, and it's very clear she's biting her tongue.
So, but don't worry. We'll find it. We'll find her out in here. It's down here somewhere. I'm certain of it. I'm certain of it. But we got to be quiet at night. We got to be quick during the day, and we got to be quiet at night. Because that's when they come out, lots of them. And we don't want them finding us. So it might be a little easier for them to find us now since,
We've got 10 more eyes to help look now. And so do we think then, and she'll kind of turn to the rest of the group, we've still got some daylight, as it were. Should we see what we can try to find before the sun goes down?
Yes, absolutely.
We're gonna find him. Sin, we've got this far. We've found Null, and we're going to. He's a crafty one. We'll find him. All of us, we're gonna spread out, and we're gonna find the ways that it could be. It's gonna be okay.
Don't know about
Calvain, did you want to
that,
do a
but
healing
we
test?
will find him.
Yeah, I can do that.
Right. We'll definitely find him. There's no reason. There's no reason we won't work with clever folk. I know a thing or two about Moria once we get inside, I've pieced together a little map or so, I got no knowledge and things like that. We'll find him. Oh, I almost forgot to tell you. I've got another little surprise for you. And then she motions you down one of the tunnels, and she points to this mound in like a small cutout, a little alcove, and you can see that there is a scrawny little goblin, completely bound, and you can see it's got gagged a bit here and there, and is just on the ground, probably sleeping right now. Little insider information. Though he hasn't really been particularly forthcoming, but maybe with the lot of you here, it might be a little easier to get a few words out of him. For some reason, an old dwarf doesn't seem to put the fear into him, but maybe
The rest of you can find a thing or two from him. But that's for later. We've got to do this during the day, and then at night we got to keep it quiet. Eh?
Yes, we must. We must.
No, I've got just the thing. Here, chew this. I got extraordinary success. Should slow down the sluggishness.
Oh God! What in God's... This is actually not bad. What is this?
Special mix. Some herbs and leaves that blended together.
The dwarves and your concoctions.
It's
Leaves
better
and
when he
herbs.
makes it into tea rather than just having you eat it.
Do you have food? When we fled the dwarven hold, our previous camp, we weren't able to bring everything. I've been rationing since, of course. No, it's okay.
We do have
we should
some,
focus.
yes.
Okay, good. Okay. Well, 3 dwarves here. That'll help. I'm sure the elf's got good eyes. The big fella, well, he could probably move a rock or two. So, and then she like starts going into like what to look for, like what it looks like when there's like masonry signs of like hidden pathways, or like what to move, what not to move. Be careful of knocking certain things down that might be load bearing and all that kind of stuff. And so she's kind of walking you through what she's been doing. And effectively she has been scouring these tunnels and trying to dig them out and finding a path in. So you can see all these different places where she's tried, but it doesn't seem like she has made much progress.
You know what we're also going to look out for is raiders. So we're going to say, welcome into raiders from Brotherhood of the Dice.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that raid. We're playing some One Ring. We are on the cusp of Moria. We're in the Dimrill Dale. We're looking for a way in of sorts.
We are.
Okay, so this is going to be a skill endeavor, but if there's anything else that you guys wanted to do before we dive into that, call it out now. Once the skill endeavor starts, it's going to keep going. So if there's anything else that you guys wanted to do, now's a good time.
Not yet. I think we're good to go.
Agreed. Yeah, I think finding our way in is a top priority.
Okay. So this is going to be a very daunting skill endeavor, as there's not a whole lot of time left in the day, as you've already lost some light. So I'm setting resistance fairly high. I don't mind telling you it's at 9.
Oh.
Okay. And the time limit, which is how many chances you get at this, is 4.
Oh, shit. That's real hard.
And generally, some suggestions for skills. I'll take some options otherwise, but suggestions, athletics, just moving stuff around, craft, if you're trying to do, like, recognize some of the design, scan, looking for hidden things. Those 3 are probably pretty good. I'll listen to other things, but those 3 like actively are doing something. But if you want to pitch something else, that's fine. So there's 4 chances at this. So not everyone gets to go. So you just tell me how you want to handle this. Who wants to take a shot at this and describe what it is that you're doing?
I have 3 pips in scan. That's what I was gonna do.
Makes sense.
Okay. So yeah, you can use some. So you're looking for like seams, hidden tunnels.
Yeah.
And if you would like, you can use Null too. One of you can use Null to help. And she
I'd like to, if I could, just narratively. I feel like it makes sense right now.
Go for it.
So she'll do, and you get plus 2d6 from this, actually.
Okay.
Ooh.
So she'll come over. She'll be like, okay, so you're looking for little marks like this one here, and then maybe a little bit like this. But be careful if you see any seams, if you see any cracks in these pillars, these types of pillars here. You don't want to go fuddling around with those because everything will come down on you. If you find any floor plannels that's got this kind of marking, those are the best ones because that indicates there's a way down. And she's like, just like this crooked finger covered in scars. She keeps saying as she's just walking around.
So, on the roll, it's 1 bonus dice?
2.
It's 2.
2. Thank you. just didn't want to like overdo that.
Yeah. How many should you have total just to make sure it does it right? 5d6s?
Great success. I'm pretty sure it did do it right.
Yeah, you got it right because you said you had 3 pips, and so you rolled 3.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's going to reduce the resistance then by 2 because you succeeded and you got a bonus success. And so as you're looking around, you do in fact find some kind of large plank, this stone plank, into the ground that seems to be wedged against some cave earth, right? And you do see as you're like brushing it away that there is this little marking next to it, this little etching, this little dwarf rune that's carved into it. The same very thing that she was actually saying to look for. And when you move over to it, you realize you can wedge something like a little pry bar or like even your sword or dagger. And as you do, you hear a little click. And then the whole thing sweeps up. It's another one of these false panels. And you realize there is like a dusty drop down to this sub-basement of a sub-basement. And so you can realize you're digging down even deeper into it.
Very nice, very nice.
Okay. She's like, good eyes on you. Good eyes. Yes. Very good. Very good. Okay. Let's see what this one's got to offer down here. That's a big drop. Does anyone else want to maybe go first to help an old dwarf out here?
I think someone who's tall would be able to drop easier.
Hell
right?
yes.
Because it's like less space for me. Could I tap into a distinctive feature?
Sure.
All right, so I'll spend the hope, so I get 2 extra dice for that. And call this athletics.
Seems like that would work.
That sounds good.
All right.
Hell yes.
That is an extraordinary success.
Yay.
That's 3. All right, man. Okay. You drop down in, and you realize like you're in some kind of storage chamber. Like there's these old crates that have been piled up here that have long since kind of fallen to ruin. At some point you hear like the sounds of squeaking, and so maybe there was like some rats that scurry as you drop down. Someone hands you a lantern, and as you maybe follow the squeaking and you push some of the rubble, there's like a crack in one of the walls under which like the rats are escaping, and you give it a couple kicks and shoves, and like someone could actually crawl down in there and maybe push even further. Who would like to go next?
I can go next. I was going to use craft, so maybe now that we're in, I'm continuing to sort of look for those like marks and different things like that. So what I was thinking, also kind of using distinctive features, I've got 3 in craft, and it's favored, and my distinctive feature is that I'm proud of my accomplishments and the accomplishments of my people. So I think that would make sense here in trying to kind of locate some sign of something else.
Okay. So yeah, you're down in this room. You maybe get down hands and knees, crawl through that crack, and it opens up onto... It's not like a room per se, but it looks like you've reached some kind of intersection, maybe some sort of pathway. You see arches that are still intact, and this connection of arches that suggests like a pathway goes this way, one pathway goes that way, and there's cave-ins on either side, but there's a few of them that are only partially collapsed. And so you're just trying to like maybe get a sense from some of the masonry which way might be the better path to sort of focus on.
Before you roll, I'd like to spend a hope to assist you, since
Nice.
you're my fellowship focus.
Thank you. I did realize that I am weary, so that's going to have an effect on my roll. So
Won't matter if you roll all 6s.
You know what? There you go. Let's let it rip. All right. All
Yeah,
right.
that's
All
a
right.
lot
All
of
right.
That's
ones,
scary.
2s, and 3s.
There was so many of those didn't count. So like
Still
the
great,
only
Five of
ones that
them.
counted were 6s because 5 of them didn't count because I'm weary. So still extraordinary success, but oh goodness,
Okay.
it was concerning to
You
watch.
guys are doing a phenomenal job. You take a look and you realize that on some of these archways, see these curved stone. If you dust away and peel back the grime, you actually see dwarven runes that seem to almost be like signage directing which way to go. And you realize one of them is actually heading in a westernly path, and it seems to be suggesting like that one's going like underneath the mountain. And then when you read the other one, that seems to be like going to some kind of farmage, granary storage. Like you realize like the one that is going westward is definitely the one that's more promising to you.
I'd like to say that maybe the way that EDDA helps is that Agda was kind of like talking out loud a little bit. Well, I think this sign means this, and I think perhaps it's that way. And then maybe because Agda talks out loud all the time and EDDA kind of corrects.
Well, no, remember that history lesson that you were telling me about several weeks ago? You said that this symbol actually stands for this.
Oh,
Right?
You're right. Yes, you're absolutely right. You know, I've gotten to the point that I think you just tune me out when I'm talking most of the time, but you really were paying attention.
Listen. Yes.
Oh, I know. I kid. But I do talk a lot, and I like the history a whole lot more. But good catch. I would have taken us all the way in the wrong direction. All right. EDDA says we go this way, so we go this way.
This is fascinating. I'd like to explore the tunnels the doors made some more. I'll take point and lead the next endeavor.
Ooh.
Okay.
I'll just scan myself.
Can I
my
throw a
types.
fellowship focus at him?
Sure.
Okay.
I'll spend hope myself if that's allowed.
What distinctive feature are you tapping into?
Oh, you have to use a distinctive feature.
Don't you?
You don't.
Well, you don't actually. You don't have to for the one. I thought if you were going to be inspired. Sorry.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Do you have anything that applies?
I don't think it does. It's my beauty applier.
I'm afraid it doesn't, especially since you're getting covered in like grime and dirt.
It's particularly dark here, so no one can see your stunning good looks.
All right, the one from
I mean, you
Sin
do have
and one from
rhymes
myself.
of lore. I don't know. Maybe it's a stretch
Yeah, I think
Short
that's a little bit of a
verses
stretch for
to help
scanning.
them remember
There's-
significant facts. Yeah. I tried.
Still good.
Just a regular success.
You guys were literally at one time limit left, and you needed one success because you had 2 extraordinary successes, a great success, and a regular success. That's 3, 2 is 8, plus 1 is 9. You guys nailed it right on the button.
Oh my
Right
gosh.
on the button.
Hell yes.
Yay.
Okay. So as you are, you slip by this, like, you have no trouble like wedging between the wall and this collapsed bit of ruin, and you find yourself in this somewhat circular chamber, Calvain, and you look up and you realize there's a dome above you. There's patchworks here and there where some of the mountain has come down, and it looks as though there might have been at the center of that dome like a hatchway upward. And then you notice on the ground there is like this crumbled stair, and there used to be a kind of a crisscrossing stair that seems to go all the way up to that dome. But you realize where that crumbled stone staircase is, it probably continues to go down, and you start to sweep and move it away and push. And although the stair itself has collapsed and shattered, the well that the stair was going down seems to actually go very deep down into the dark, to the point where like Nala will come up and she'll like, oh, look at that. Elvish eyes, they say, elvish eyes.
Oh, God, goodness gracious. Oh, this is... Oh, that smells just foul enough to be Moria. Yeah, that smells. I think you found it, Mr. Elf. Oh,
Can't believe it was buried here.
well, here we go. See? Everything's looking up. Or, better yet, looking down. Yeah. Oh, I don't feel so good.
She like puts a hand on you, Calvain, as she sort of swirls a bit. So effectively, you guys have completed the skill endeavor and you have descended and moved westward a bit. And you have found some kind of old hidden entrance. Not a major entrance. It might have just been some kind of, some sort of small escape hatch. So you guys have the potential to go down into Moria if you wish. This has all taken you several hours. So it's more than likely night right now. You have no ability to see the sky from here. You guys are well underneath the ground. What would you like to do, or what do you think you all are doing as we're in this like circular chamber? I'm assuming one of you has been dragging the goblin prisoner with you as well. And you guys are in this big circular chamber with this long, dark hole going down further.
Could I
found the way.
Perhaps like do a hunt check to like search this chamber to see like if there's been movement throughout it? Like have orcs been in here recently?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, honestly, I would just probably give that to Calvain. He already rolled scan. This looks like a chamber that hasn't been disturbed in quite some time. Like you guys are the first to come in here.
If
no one else but us.
It's dark now. The orcs, they'll be more active. We should rest here. Wait until they rest as much as possible before we continue deeper.
Well, if Calvain says this isn't one of the ways that they're going in and out, then we shouldn't have to work too hard to find a hiding spot then. I agree, I'm getting a bit tired and hungry now that we've made it past all of that. Do we still have some food on us?
We rest here. We find Vidar first thing in the morning.
Well, if they're active at night and they leave at night, wouldn't that make that the best time to enter?
They also move through the tunnels at night.
I think if they're out and about all night, I would hope that they're doing a little bit of resting during the day and we could move about a bit more secretively in the midday.
Okay.
You should keep a watch, though.
I agree.
Do we need to, kind of looking towards the goblin? Is the goblin still, like...
Goblin's been like kind of tugging here and there on the leash and bindings, but it has been otherwise fairly quiet. Once or twice he might dart away, but someone just tugs on the leash and he just falls and drag him back up.
I don't think I'm very good at getting information out of folks, but perhaps somebody else might be better at that.
Be best if we just end them now. Why even bother with this filthy creature?
Well, I think perhaps to get some information, I think this goblin here has probably been in and out of these areas and can give us a bit more current information than whatever map information Null has.
What information? Just spew lies. Can you trust it?
Edda approaches the goblin and kind of just takes out her large, hefty axe and just kind of like lets it fall heavily to the ground beside him. And she's gonna... Goblin, tell me where your camp is. Where would you take prisoners?
eyes wide open, gag in the mouth. He's just kind of looking at their eyes at you.
And she'll reach forward, nod if you will tell me, and if not, I will end you now.
Give me an awe test, probably.
Okay, cool. Success.
Okay, just regular? All right.
Just regular. I got 5s, not 6s.
Okay. So you see this big head just kind of shakes, up and down here and there. This kind of sort of like a yellowing greenish head, almost tarnished to brown, and it's kind of shaking head up and down.
So she'll, not roughly, but she'll tug the gag out of his mouth.
Hekla would be most willing to share information, but Hekla wants assurances that when information is provided, Hekla will be permitted to flee. Yes? Fair, dear. Yes, you deal. Yes.
Once we return, yes.
Leave here. You go. And come back and let me go. Eh?
Yes. With our friend.
Dear. Yes. They would have brought the dwarf, the other one, to the ledge of woe. It's beneath the bridge, in the chasm, far down. Yes.
And what would they do with him there?
What you do with prisoners? Questions and things. Yes, and depending on questions, into the mines, or elsewhere. Depends what he says. Edgar did good. Edgar keep up bargain. Yes.
And at that point, Edda will look at Null. Do you know where that would be?
Oh, well, let's see. Ledge of Woe. The bridge is probably Durin's bridge, I would imagine. The chasm's beneath it. There's rumors, I suppose, or legends as such, that the old dwarven kings, they used to have a prison near the second hall. They used to keep them there until they repented or some such. I know where the bridge is. There's that.
Okay.
I know where the second hall is. But I've not heard of the Ledge of Woe per se. No.
Okay.
But if it's down the chasm, oh goodness. Oh goodness gracious.
Yes, it's an abyss. It's bottomless. It's endless. Fall and down they go. You can hear screams all day of those who fell. Yes. I don't know if it's exactly bottomless, but it's very deep. It's into the deeps. It is, for sure. You can say that.
Mm. And just how active are patrols inside during the day versus the night?
Well, it's a big place. Very big place. Some places there's no orcs, and some where there's many, and others where there's different things. Scary things. It depends where you go.
If you want to be released alive, we have to return alive. Where should we avoid?
No. You said I stay here, and then when you come back, you set me free. I told you where they take him. Hegla said his deal.
If we don't return alive, we can't release you.
Well, Well, what's to say that you don't come back this way then? What if you...
I'm getting my voice is confused.
What's to say that you don't come back? No. Hegla, I did my part. I told you. Let her go down by the chasm below the bridge.
And then he'll like look around and he'll like reach down and like bite the gag on the ground and put it back in his mouth.
Okay. And then she'll go ahead and she'll take his bindings that we've been carrying him along with us, and she'll find like a heavy stone to kind of help trap him in place.
Sure.
Magda would go over to Medwin. Did you get a sense that he was telling the truth?
I got the sense that he wanted to live.
You think Chasm of Woe is going to be where we find our death?
I don't think he would have any reason to lie about that, but I also don't think he would tell us if there is more danger than we would expect.
He did say there are other terrible things.
I mean...
I don't know what other... Ghosts, perhaps?
I wouldn't listen to a goblin campfire tale. The orcs are what we have to worry about.
Orcs are terrible enough.
I think he'll tell us... I believe that he would tell us the truth about where Vidar is. I don't know if we can trust much more than that.
He wishes to live, and Edda turns and looks at him. If there truly was something that would prevent us from returning and releasing him, I'm sure he'd tell us.
Swift nodding of the head.
Nal, which sections were you hoping to explore, considering we weren't anticipating orcs to have taken over?
Well, we're going to try to get to the Dwar Road, Elf, you see, and maybe go around there for a bit, see if we can find some, some of the forges, the citadels and such. We weren't going down into the deeps, though. That's we're not. That's oof. There are foul things down there, At least that's what the stories say.
Well, looks like we will be going now.
Okay, we can go with you. I could stay and watch the goblin as well if you want me to.
You should stay and watch the goblin, I think.
Yeah, you guys have
make sure that he does not call an alarm.
Yeah, you guys have definitely noticed too that she is like limping, and she's old and such. So like, there's definitely that too.
I've got something for you.
And she starts going through a bag, and she pulls out a couple scrolls and things and starts to lay them out. And she gives you like a map of sorts. So I'm gonna pull you guys over to the Moria map. Now, one of the things you want to know about the Moria map is that it is not. Don't get too obsessed with like every single route and perfect thing on it. It's not like an overland map. It's a really cool map. It's both like there's like an overhead view and then there's a side view. So let's just focus on the side view because you have to go down. So let me bring you guys over if I can find where I put that. All right. Can the five of you see this?
Yes. And I am obsessed.
Me too.
He said, "Don't get obsessed. You've got to listen to him."
Moria is
too late. I'm already obsessed.
So Moria is enormous.
Oh my god!
It is absolutely enormous. It literally takes days to traverse it. And that's if you're just taking a straight line through things, and you can't really do that anymore. Now, the other thing to think about is that it's been 1,000 years, basically, since the fall of Khazad-dûm, a little more. And because even the War of Dwarves and Orcs, the Dwarves didn't go inside Moria. There was just battles out front. So this knowledge is like very patchwork. So what I would say is don't get, when you're looking at it, don't get obsessed with like the numbers and things like that and whatever. And there's a couple things I blocked off here and there just because spoilers and things. But you all would currently be towards the east side. You would be, you found a special little entrance in above what's called Old Moria. And that really is like the oldest parts of the city itself. So the East Gate, First Hall, Second Hall, etc. The deeps are when you kind of start going down. They're like levels when you start going down. And then there's different halls and such. And so halls are really like, they're all named after like the order in which they were built, not necessarily where they are placed. So like if a newer hall was built like in the middle, it would, or like an older hall would be built in the middle, it could be hall, 14 or whatever. And doesn't necessarily mean hall 15 is right next to it. So it's all kind of circuitous. So, but there are specific journeying rules, delving rules is actually called for Moria, that are a slight modification of it. And we'll get into like those mechanics in a second. So let's just kind of still play out the scene before we dig into that. So she will kind of have this, this map out, and she'll be like,
okay, so by my calculations, if I figured, I don't feel so good. If I figured everything out right. So the East Gate is here, and then that means then this would be the first hall, and this would be the second, and then that's Durin's Bridge, the chasm over top of it, and somewhere far down the chasm itself is where you'll find it. Now, there's no sense climbing down the chasm. That's a long way to your death, but there's places you could go, find some holes, some routes, things like that. Keep yourselves quiet, maybe. But as best as I understand it,
and she just starts kind of pointing out random places here and there.
But this is what we'll be able to sort out, So, hopefully it'll be of use to you.
So, and Agda's noting that Nal is not seeming to do well. Not to be indelicate, but would you maybe want to tell us a bit about exactly where in Khazad-dûm you were heading, where you were sent to, in case?
I just told them. I said how we were going to look into the world. That's not the same place, of course. You guys are going somewhere else. You'll see. We're going to see the world elf and such. We're going to see if we can get to more accurate locations. Look for some old forges and such. That sort of thing.
Just again, I apologies for being perhaps tactless, but just want to make sure any information that you've got in your head makes it into our head. Of course, we hope the things are going to be okay, but just in case they're not, just want to make sure we know what
I'm telling you everything you need to know. This was focusing on Vidar at this point. You don't got to worry about where we were going. You got to worry about where you should be going. And you should be going is to go down there and get the boy. Eh?
Yes, of course, no. Yes, we will do that.
Medwin looks at Agda and says, she's got a point.
Of course I'm worried about Vidar. Just want to, and she sort of like steps away a little bit from Nal. She don't look very good. I worry about what was on that arrow.
Calvain tended to her. She's a strong dwarf. She'll be fine.
She's seen her years. And most of those years didn't include getting shot by orcish arrows.
I think
Agda,
rest is needed at this point.
Very true. I think
So, we get to Vidar. We get a count of orcs and other such creatures within the area. And then come back, bring him back, check on Nall, and then we see about heading towards the Darrow-Delphs.
who's healthy enough to take first watch?
I'll do it. A bit unrestless with this goblin here. Make sure it doesn't do anything.
Just big smile from the goblin.
Staring, big bright eyes, just like staring. Right now, and then he shifts and moves, and they kind of glow a little bit. Do you guys want to take a prolonged rest? Is that what you're after?
Yes.
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 Okay. So let's do it. So you can recover all lost endurance points. If you are wounded, however, you only recover endurance points equal to your strength. You can also regain a point of hope. So if you were at 0 hope at the start of the rest of this. And then you guys remove a fatigue. I think that's right. That's what we said last time.
Yeah.
So you can also reduce fatigue. Okay. Is anybody doing a watch?
I'm the first one.
Okay. Give me an awareness test.
My awareness is favored. I rolled a great success.
Okay. You feel the earth shudder. Like the chamber you're in, everything just suddenly shudders a bit. And you look around, you can see maybe others are sleeping or eating or like chatting in small corners or whatever it might be. And you also, like, in the moments after the shudder, you hear something for a second, kind of wafting up from that deep, dark stairwell, empty of stair. And when you put your ear down to it, or even down to the ground, you start to hear like the mountain is almost continuing to shudder and rumble, but maybe at a distance. And you also hear the sounds of, it almost sounds like voices in some way. Like cries, shrill cries of some kind. But it fades after a few minutes.
I'll keep that sound just running through my mind as I sit here waiting.
Okay. Anybody doing anything they want to call out during your rest? Conversations, anything like that?
I would say Agda
Medwin. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
You first.
I would say that
Okay.
Agda would want to try to keep Sin's spirits up as best as possible. Because
That's what Medwin was going to do. Let's do it together.
Perfect.
That's perfect. Sin is generally, I think, quite receptive to mirroring whatever energy is in front of her, but she is very bleak and not, like, she's very clearly not in the mood. And she's not laughing at your jokes. She's not doing anything. She's a stone wall.
Well, that's just because you haven't had enough of this Bjorning mead. As Medwin hands over his liquor.
And she will take it and drink sullenly and solemnly. So you've given over your mead, but nothing comes of it.
It's all right. In this system, it's it never runs out.
Yeah, she's not doing well. So I think the only thing specifically in this rest is that her sleep is pretty fitful. It's not particularly restful.
Yeah, we do our best to just, kind of convey hopefulness that, we've made it this far. It's soon we're going to find Vidar, and we're all going to be able to appreciate the enormity of all being here together and seeing everything that we're seeing in the works of our forebears. And
Yeah.
I feel like maybe you drink enough mead that like you initially kind of like just drift off and then like wake up later.
Probably. Yeah. I think
It ends up being Medwin and Agda just talking to each other more than anything.
I love it. Yeah.
Agda will try to like, hey, Agda didn't get the kids to fall asleep and pay attention to her story, but at least she got Sin to sleep for a little bit, even though it wasn't Agda at all. It was Medwin's liquor.
Well, the boring story helped.
It's a combination of both.
Right.
Okay. Anything else that you guys wanted to do?
Yeah, can I kill a goblin during the night?
You absolutely could.
I would like
Do
to.
you? Okay.
I said I was going to make sure he wasn't going to do anything, and he's not going to.
Okay. So, how do you do it? Just describe it for us.
Yeah, when everyone's gone to
creature,
rest.
Calvain.
It's evil, malevolent.
I mean, not innocent, but
irredeemable. I will, during the night, I'll just come upon it whenever it's rested, falling asleep, and bring out my sword and cut it down.
Coup de grace.
Yeah, I think
There's
I
me
feel
some
like
shadow
this is
for
a
that.
misdeed, right? This feels like a misdeed, as you had made a deal with him. He gave you his information. You guys made a deal, and you killed him. So, go ahead, Calvain, and take. Let's see. I don't know. Is it 4? Is it killing or crippling a surrendered foe? That's what this sounds like. Take 4 points of shadow.
I think I got 4 for that? That's kind of crazy.
Torment or torture, killing or crippling a surrendered foe or harmless folk. And so he surrendered. And you made a deal with him, and then you killed him in the night while no one else notices. So that's 4 points of shadow, and there's no way to reduce or cancel this by a shadow test.
All right, I'm taking it.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Do you want to still do it, knowing that was?
Oh, I did it. Yeah.
Oh,
Did it? Who are you talking
I
to?
assumed it
This is
is long. It is long.
Yep.
He was good. Rolls with it. Okay, so
He
we'll
probably
say
saved our asses, but the cost.
so. At some point in the night, none of you probably know exactly when, but when you wake in the morning, is the goblin still there? Did you toss him down the well? Did you get rid of the body, or is it just he's just dead in the corner?
He's just down the corner. I didn't bury it.
Okay. Yeah. So
bury it.
okay, everyone wakes up. You can tell Calvain also, if you check on Null, that whatever you've done has definitely beat back whatever kind of black infection was creeping out from the arrow wounds that Null had got, but they're still there. She definitely looks a little bit better today than she did yesterday. But you would know that if another day or two had gone with her not getting attention, it could have been a very bad outcome. But it looks like she's on the mend, actually. Okay. Anything else? And then, if
Calvain.
not, anything in the morning?
what did you do?
Nothing I told you I wouldn't. I kept watch. Made sure the
We
goblin
made a
couldn't do
deal
anything.
with him. We made him a promise that he would go. He was
But
bound.
it was only Edda.
Couldn't defend himself.
I never agreed to such terms.
You're part of the group. You agreed to the terms. You did not say no when the deal was made.
I stated my feelings. Goblins, orcs, irredeemable. You're evil, a threat to us elves.
I'm not
Can't have it
debating
stand
the
here.
morality of goblin life. I'm the taking of a life. A defenseless life. Even if it is an evil life, that it was not your life to take. It was not your choice to make.
I'll not have a human lecture elves. Me. I've been around longer than you. I've seen the things they do.
In all those years, you learned to murder.
It's the only way we survive.
Let's
I don't
withhold
believe that.
judgment for now. We have Vidal to go for.
Medwin drops it there with the intercession, but yeah, it's one of the few times you've seen him angry.
Yeah.
As Medwin is kind of, especially the point where it's not a life you were allowed to take, Sinzai is very much good enough.
She'll stare it right back at you.
You've got something to say?
I have plenty to say.
Oh, do ya? Well, you go right ahead and say it then. Get it off your chest before you head on down into the deep.
No, I don't think I will.
Oh, I see. You blame me, is that it?
I do.
You blame me?
I do.
Oh, well, if you love your brother as much as you claim, then you should have seen his troubles and you should have done something about it. And you didn't do
I tried.
anything.
No,
Oh, that's not what he
that's
says. That's not what he says. He says you left him in his sorrow and his grief, and you went off gallivanting on your own travels, and all he had for company with his own sadness, you see. So, if you feel better blaming me, you go right ahead. I know darn well that there's a bit of responsibility on my end, but I'm not putting my responsibility onto you, so you don't go putting your responsibility onto me, young lady. Huh.
As I
Your
said,
brother-
I didn't want to talk about this.
Your brother was a grown man. He made his choices, he lost his wife, he was sorrowful, and he was grieving, and he needed something to distract him. And you know what? I was providing it. You weren't. So don't stand there with your mean little eyes.
If that's what helps you sleep at night, though, you go ahead and believe
I
that.
sleep just fine.
I'm
I
sure
sleep
you
just
do.
fine.
I'm sure you do.
Ladies,
Stop your bickering.
it's just
Yes, we have a body to find.
we're going to.
Oh, yes. Maybe
Find
if
your
you
brother.
were around, he wouldn't have come with me. Ever think of that? Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
Sure.
You have
could
no
tell.
way to know that. He can make his own decisions. We have to trust in his capabilities. Now, time is wasting. Shut up and let's go.
Don't you dare take that tone with me, young lady. I'll not sit
And-
here and have this kind of disrespect.
No,
It
we're
is
not.
fairly disrespectful
Yeah,
to like
Yeah.
shut her down.
We're
like
not-
that,
we're not-
but for good reason.
we're going to go find him, and we're all going to have a put all of this
I
behind
spent a
us. We
week
are.
digging through those tunnels looking for your brother. I took 2 arrows looking for your brother. I came and I kept searching. I could have left at any time and I didn't. Okay?
We're gonna take it from
lost
here.
someone. He was sad. He was grieving. Okay? He needed something and I provided it. You didn't. If anyone knows what he was going through, it was me. It wasn't you, and it wasn't you, and it wasn't you. It was me. If any of you lost a husband or a wife, no, I have. I did. Okay? And then the grief and the sorrow, it threatened to take me over until I found something to put my energies to. And I did. And I got out of it. And I crawled out of it. One hammer, one chisel at a time. Right? And so I was providing him that same opportunity. Call yourselves dwarves.
Looks at disgust.
Soft, all of you.
We're gonna take it from here, and we're gonna find him. We're gonna find him, and we best be going. And she's sort of got like one arm around Edda and one arm around Sid, and is sort of like hurting them in the "we're going now" direction. Medwin,
Sin
Calvain?
is very obviously not in the mood to de-escalate, so will let herself be led away by Aga. Because she knows this can only end badly.
Then Agda knows this knows the same.
So she will let herself be led away.
Medwin, Calvain, are you following? As Agnes moved.
We're coming.
Edda pauses just enough to leave some of her rations behind with Nall, so she has something to eat while we're gone. And she just sighs as she follows, hefting her great axe over her shoulder.
Okay, so let's get into the delving rolls then, if you guys want to start falling down. So delving's a lot like journeying, except there's one big difference, and is that there's no hunter roll. There is the delver roll. So that's the big difference. And so the idea being that like you can't really hunt for fresh game. I am not. The hunter normally would like is sort of presumed to be like hunting for game and like replenishing stock and stores and such as you guys are traveling. But that's not really a thing you can do in Moria, as there's not fresh game in Moria. So instead there's delvers who their function is basically to ensure the safety of the marching company. So like basically all of you, like the whole group. So they're inspecting tunnels, they're looking for like environmental conditions, like mitigating risk and stuff. And specifically you're like for journey events that target you, you would be rolling craft. Okay. So hunters rolled hunting. In this case, a delver would be rolling craft. This doesn't apply to you, but normally ponies or beasts wouldn't go into Morio. There's some exceptions to that, but you guys don't have them, so it doesn't really matter. And then what you guys basically do is you do the same thing that you do above ground, which is you draw a path.
Oh, awesome.
And you can see it's like you're not drawing like a straight line. You're like following like tunnels and twists and turns and things like that. And then I measure some things. And then I figure out, the same thing as before, where the various like events happen, that sort of thing.
So she said that we don't need to just like climb down, that we can find a safer path to get our way there. So I think if we kind of take the tunnels down a little bit and wind our way down, it looks like there's a bit of a ledge that's just a bit of a way down. It's a very long way around, but it seems much safer than just trying to climb straight down.
So I've marked on the map the general approximation of where you might find the Ledge of Woe. You don't know it for certain because you don't have a guide. You've never been there before. But you can see the general approximation, the idea being it's far down that big red chasm. So that doesn't mean that you have to go that route. Obviously, you could go straight down the chasm if you want, but that is that would be very, very, very dangerous. But you can find some other routes there. It's kind of like a little maze, kind of moving your stuff around. And you should have drawing abilities too.
So my thought is this. Oh, no. Okay.
I had a similar thought.
Okay. Going a bit inward and then going down and then coming back to the edge.
Okay.
Sometimes you gotta go left to go right.
Yeah.
Turn right to go left. I haven't seen cars in forever.
All right, let me make a few quick changes here so it's easier to see. Let's do. All right, and then figure out what roles you want to take.
Can I just do my travel
crafter.
again?
You can if you like. Unless somebody else wanted to.
You got it.
I got two different routes there, so I'm going to delete the one that was below. So I think I'm going to go with the blue one because that's the one that I think you all don't roll yet. I didn't.
Sorry. Sorry.
Okay. So what are the rules? What are the rules everyone's taking here?
What were the rules again?
So most of them are the same. So guides, scouts, and lookouts, those remain. Hunters are replaced by delvers. So guides do travel rolls, scouts do explorer rolls, lookouts do awareness rolls, delvers do crafting rolls.
I'll stick with lookout.
Lookout is my next best ability. And then
We can share it.
If you don't mind sharing, that'd be ideal for me. Have someone to back me up.
I could take Delver.
Okay.
Right. So Agda's going to be, I'm just going to put you in hunting, even though because I don't see a delving option in the system. So I'm just going to put you in the hunting slot, but you are the delver technically. Okay. All right. And again, that's going to be a craft roll if the journey events come up that way. So it's not necessarily going to, they're randomly rolled, etc. But all that's kind of the same. We will travel, determine how far along the path that you guys go. And then there's also going to be other things in terms of depth that might affect certain rolls. So if you the further down you go, there's certain places where some rolls are rolled like travel rolls. In some cases, if you go far enough, you start to lose dice. If you go down to the depths, like the deeps and the mines and stuff like that. And then, so there's that. Okay. So you all figured out your endurance, your weariness, all that kind of stuff. Everything's set.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm full up on endurance, but my load is still very high. Still got 8 fatigue.
All right. Okay, so go ahead and give me the travel test then.
Okay. Sorry about that. My finger just slipped backward.
No worries.
Let's get some spooky delving music on.
Oh God.
Thank goodness you succeeded again, because
did
it's
it
going to
roll
be
for
really
you?
sad.
I didn't roll for
It's a
me.
regular success.
Okay.
15 right at 15.
Let me
All right.
restart.
Yeah, so the difference between this and overland travel is that the lore master has a separate map that's got hexes on it, and you just kind of count the hexes. With this, it's more like measuring inches. You can see there's a scale and everything for it that determines how far you travel per day, all that kind of stuff. Okay. So, all right. So with a success, that is going to take you basically into, I'll just tell you guys above the table here. It's going to take you into the second hall. But let me get a few things up, because lots of things are about to happen. All right.
I'm going to drop our little drawn on map into Discord. Anybody wants to see
you
it.
guys start lowering yourself. I'm assuming you're using some kind of rope, and you start climbing your way down and down and down and down. And for a decent chunk of the way, it is literally just a straight dark shot through the ruins of an old stair, and the stair has collapsed and fractured and is not there. You can see on the sides of the wall, assuming someone's got a torch or a lantern hanging out, you can see little sections, little spaces here and there where that stone maybe didn't break off super cleanly from the walls, and there's still a little bit of residue. And the climb is simple enough, but you do feel this kind of foul wind that just starts to waft up that stairwell, and you can smell it. And you can smell it. It kind of starts to tickle your noses a bit. Probably Calvain catches it even first, even before everybody else does. But eventually, you are able to kind of let go of the rope, and you find yourselves, slopped down into the middle of some kind of, it's hard to say. It's like a landing for sure, and you can see that there's a intersection almost. You land almost at an intersection of these different tunnels and pathways, and everything is utterly ruined. Every wall has collapsed inward to the point where you almost see the raw mountain behind it. You can see a handful of columns and pillars have collapsed here and there. One of the pathways out of here, the archway, has crumbled a bit, and it's not a particularly impressive cavern in any way. It's fairly homely looking. In fact, it's kind of low ceilinged and such. And there is what looks like a large hearth on one end where it just kind of collapsed inward. It almost looks like an M at this point. It is quiet. It smells absolutely foul in here. And as you take a moment to look around and try to figure out which of these so many different branching passages and stairs, I need the Delver to roll a craft test. So that's going to be Agda.
That's me. All right. Crafty.
Nice. You're good at craft, I know.
Oh gosh, great success. I was worried there's some ones.
Okay. So you attempt, you kind of, so basically have a series of stops and starts. You get down one pathway, you take this tunnel for a little while, and eventually you come to a cave-in and you find yourselves having to turn back. You find a stair leading out of the landing that you were on, and eventually the landing collapses, and then you see the cavern below is blocked, and you have to come back up again. This happens like 3 or 4 times, takes a few hours, but eventually, Agda, you find hidden behind this collapsed pillar that had smashed against one of these walls, there is a tunnel that you did not actually notice initially, but you realize now, as you look at the arch, like the frieze, the dwarven ruins, that it seems to be directing you to kind of a main thoroughfare of sorts. And you're able to together kind of push and pull and reach and pull out some of your chiseling tools and break stuff apart and finally gain access. Everyone go ahead and take 2 fatigue.
Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. It's a 10.
Yeah.
10 fatigue. It's crazy.
I'm at 11.
Keep an eye on your weariness and everything as well.
Yep.
Okay. You follow this tunnel, this pathway, which you realize along the way there are these patches of what likely were once beautiful dwarven carvings, but have now been befouled in various ways. In some cases, someone has just taken a hammer and sort of smashed down into them, removing any of the deep crevices, any of the reliefs on them. In other places, you can see something has been smeared over top of them. In some cases, it might be like blood or viscera. Other cases, it might be mud or something even more putrid. And all the while, that foul smell keeps coming to you. And at this point, it's almost ever present. You hear, well, not much, honestly, as it's just this terrible echoing silence as your steps hit and they echo down this tunnel. But eventually you find that they echo even further up ahead as this tunnel opens up into a massive, massive chamber. You look out from it and you can see that there are effectively pillars, columns that seem to be the size of trees that rise up into this dark above, like this dark cloud cover. It's impossible to see where the tops of these columns actually go. It is extraordinarily wide to the point where your lantern light doesn't seem to extend that far into the room itself, other than seeing that this is an extraordinarily massive chamber. And these black pillars with these carvings etched into them seem to just disappear above you. On the floor, some of the light is reflected. What look like possibly once polished floors have now been covered with this debris that has been scattered and strewn all over the place. It is vast, it is dark, and it is also quite extraordinary. Who is the lookout?
That would be me.
Go ahead and give me an awareness test.
And me.
Both of you can give me awareness tests.
While that's happening, I would say Agda probably says to Edda, like, what have they done to the halls of our ancestors? It's a shame.
Sorry, guys.
I got the regular.
Fouled this place.
As you're talking and your voices are echoing through this massive hall, you can see, Calvain, that there is a creature moving, kind of scuttling like scurrying up one of these dark columns, kind of making a break for that darkness above, that kind of dark treetops. It almost looks like a giant bat at first glance, but then you're not even sure if there are wings as you see it again scurrying and scurrying, and then you watch as it leaps off one of these columns and then soars a bit and climbs onto another column and again scurries and scurries, looks down at you for a moment, and you can see its eyes glowing with the reflection of the light that seems to cascade. What do you want to do, Calvain?
There's a creature in here with us. It knows we are here.
Can you shoot it?
I'll take a shot then. Since I know where it is.
Yeah, go for it.
Agda has no ranged weapons, so...
It's a classic for me. I cannot hit anything.
You shoot, you fire, and the arrow just sails and misses the column itself, and it just goes flying off into the darkness. You hear a distant clattering as somewhere at the far end of this ridiculously large chamber, that arrow seems to have fallen. Does anybody else try to follow suit?
Were you trying to distract it, Master Elf? She says as she pulls out her own bow. If it goes after like the clattering, like the sound, she won't shoot. But if it continues to bear down on us, she'll. You
see, it's not coming towards you; it's moving away from you. You can see it like looked at you, leapt to one column, climbed up, leapt to another, and you can see it's like in the process of like retreating away from you guys.
It's a lookout.
But it is.
Can't let it get away.
Okay. Then I will also attempt to shoot it.
Okay, go right ahead.
Damn, failure. 1 point, 14 under 15.
Oh, missed it by one.
A second arrow goes wide, and maybe this one actually clips the actual column itself, but it doesn't quite hit, and he continues to scatter up. Does anybody else want to take a shot or have the ability to? And then, if that's the case, you see it scurry up into the darkness, into the top of this room that is impossible to see. It's just cloaked in this shadow of like a cloud itself, and it is gone.
We should move.
It's not good. We don't know it's gonna tell of our whereabouts. We must move quickly.
So you are in this, again, you're in a massive chamber, columns everywhere. It's huge. So just so you guys know, if you remember the big chamber in which they were fleeing from the Balrog, this is where you guys actually, and we didn't plan this, this is just worked out this way. Like this is effectively where you guys are. So what would you guys be doing? Like you guys are essentially at a landmark here. You can continue your journey and just move forward and rush and get out of here, or you can peek and look around. So
Agda is, and that's what she was saying to Edda, like, what have they done to, kind of the work of our ancestors? So she would absolutely be looking around here to see what she can see. Like, this is where we are. So she would like to look around this room.
Okay. So if you were to kind of get your bearings for a second, you think you're effectively kind of coming in maybe from the eastern side, possibly, or no, maybe the northern side from the direction that you kind of came down. And you would know that if Null's map is correct, that effectively if you go left, you can find your way back. If you follow the massive chamber, you would eventually find yourself reaching like the first hall, maybe the east gate, etc. So that's kind of the route you were going. Plus, you also just have to look to see if you can find a way out of here. So do you go towards the front, or you just kind of curve around the other side? Do you walk across the middle? Like, what do you do?
Walk across the middle.
Okay. So you start moving across the central floor. Again, everything's strewn with all sorts of debris that seems to have fallen here and there, parts of the roof, parts of these columns, these pillars. And you're noticing on some of the columns that there are all sorts of carvings on them, like really intense, detailed, intricate carvings, little wraparound friezes and things like that. You can go ahead and give a scan. What is everybody else doing while this is happening?
Medwin would be following Agda,
Okay.
just to make sure we stay fairly close together.
You all right?
I'll
Ada
keep my
would be
eyes where the
looking-
creature
Go ahead.
went. Make sure nothing's coming back out or anyone else is looking at us.
Okay. So you're continuing to just keep an eyes peeled for this thing, for sure. Like you're just bow ready, eyes up. What about
Ada's
you,
looking
Ada?
for any new dangers, any other creatures, like listening to see if it alerted more.
Give me an awareness test. And then is Sin doing anything?
Yeah, she's also kind of looking around, I think, for inspiration for strong songs and stories and that kind of thing. Like, she said to Null that they were looking for Vidar's corpse, partially to be mean, but also she really does believe he's already dead. So she doesn't feel like they need to rush anymore. So she is looking around, similar to Agda. But instead of the center, she's at the walls to see if there's like art or carvings or anything.
Okay. So you guys are starting to sort of spread out a little bit. So we see like Medwin, Agda kind of going in one direction, looking at some of the columns and pillars. We can see like EDDA and Calvain are more trying to maybe bridge the gap between the two of them, and Sin looking for dangers, Calvain looking up, like EDDA listening and looking out. And Sin, you maybe veer a little bit towards the western side of the room. And you notice that there is this, looks like an opening, like it should have been this grand opening, this immense, like almost 10 to maybe 20 yards in height and width. And at the base, like inside of it, like there is this big hulking like mass, this congealed mass of metal. It's a little bit of silver. It's a little bit of gold. It's kind of shining, flickering, coming these different colors as you hold your lantern up to it. You can see like there's chunks and stuff that are missing from it that you could tell, but otherwise it looks like this massive congealed metal that is just pouring down from another one of these large stairwells above. And it's almost like this frozen in time molten waterfall that is pooling at the bottom.
Do I have any sense of what that or liquefied metal is?
Give me a lore test if you want to be able to figure out what this might be.
Ooh.
My 20th sense, I don't know. Then would. It didn't roll for me. I'm not sure if
It's a fail. 11
It's a
under
fail,
16.
unfortunately.
Oh, that's too bad.
You don't know for sure the name of it, but you are well aware that there are some well-known thoroughfares and well-known stairs that had names. I'm not sure, like lore is not your specialty, so maybe you don't have all of those memorized, but likely this looks like the melted ruins of some kind of massive stair that goes up towards the higher portions of the city. I would say, generally speaking, you would know that the dwarves didn't just, like your people didn't just like mine deeper and deeper into the mountain, but you also built upward towards these mountain galleries, these lofty galleries, and this likely was leading up to them. But it's quite beautiful, even though it's this strange amalgamation of metal.
Awesome. Thanks.
So, Agda, you're looking around. Give me did I ask you to do this already? Give me a scan test.
I rolled a scan test and I failed the scan test.
Okay. A few times you come across like a pillar that has some kind of somewhat befouled like runes etched into it. And as you read through it, it almost looks like some of those things that Null was showing you, like these little hidden entrances and like these hidden pathways. And you approach like one of these pillars that has it, and you kind of push into the panel. And as you push in, like the panel itself feels loose. But then when you try to pull it open, you realize there's this massive bit of like dark slag on the inside. And it's like it was like hollow. Like there was like a little hollow spot. You're not sure what for, not sure if it was a hiding spot or storage spot, or if this was some kind of secret pathway, but whatever it is, it's blocked now, and there's really no path forward.
She's really excited for a second and then keeps walking.
Okay. So Edda, how was your awareness roll?
I failed 11 over 15.
Okay. So as you guys are a little spread out, honestly, a little bit spread out from each other. Sin is a little bit further away on her own. Edda, Calvain, somewhere in between. Medwin and Acta, a little bit further inward. And this an extraordinarily large hall. You kind of vaguely hear like the skittering of things, but it's not a whole lot different at first than rats. But then you hear like as an arrow comes out of the darkness from somewhere to the east, and then a second arrow comes flying. And as you whip and turn to see where it's coming from and maybe hold up a lantern, that lantern sheds this orange-yellow light into this wall of darkness, and it kind of cascades off the floors and off some of the columns, and you see charging at you from behind these different pillars, there is a mass of orcs that are racing you down, some firing arrows, some with giant hooked swords in their hands. And that's where we're going to go ahead and stop for tonight, and we'll pick up on a combat.
Good luck with that, Edda. He said they're racing towards Edda. Did not mention the rest of us.
Single one of them.
We are all gone.
No, guys, I found a staircase. We can just use that.
What was that one game where Logan died pretty early and we got him out of like a cupboard cabinet later? Like
Best
his
left
backup
buried.
character? Yes, that's gonna be me. Edda dies. And then you're like, wait, we got a backup sister in this closet? Let me rip her out.
Edda's dead.
He was like a half elf, halfling. He was a halfling, I think, and he goes to punch a dude, and he missed. So I punch him back, and I do like crazy crit damage, and I just rolled really well. It was in system, everyone saw it, and he one shot dead off the bat. The first combat roll. This is
You killed me by punching me, and we were in danger once. What the heck, dude?
Yes.
I just like doing that.
I do. I like to go. I get the nose and I just jam it up, and it goes into the brain.
Get that bone going.
It kills you.
Yeah,
let's get that bone up there.
I want to keep playing. I want to keep playing.
Me too.
We got an hour. Yeah.
You were complaining that I go too long, and so I'm ending early because Steven's been complaining
about going too long.
This is Steven's fault, really.
Yes. Everyone point and laugh at Steven. I'll blame Steven.
Damn.
Wow.
I knew
So-
you all dinner though, so
All right.
pretty
Let's
soon I
do.
could hear my stomach.
We're in Moria. We are in a very well-known place. We're in the
Yes.
middle of a delve.
Yes.
Like I said, you guys didn't have to stay and look. You guys could have just kept going, and you guys stayed and looked. So that's great.
Of course,
but,
we're going to
this is
look.
For sure. There's awesome stuff in this place.
Yes.
There's so many. I'm not sure if people watching this, if you've read through Moria, but man, there's just so much good stuff.
Oh,
in here.
yeah.
Like, it's insane how many cool things are in here. So, anyhow, let's go ahead and get some plugs going. So, my trade. Where can we find you?
My dad plays games on YouTube where I make systemic multi-system tabletop content that enters the achievement page.
Fantastic. Steven, some big news for your game recently.
Yeah, Huckleberry RPG just had its 1.5 update. We dropped 90 new pages of content in there. The book is now 250 pages long, which kind of blows my mind. When I first released Early Access, it was 80 pages total. So this update was bigger than the original book. So yeah, you can grab that at huckleberryrpg.com/pre-order to get a physical copy, or Drive-Thru RPG for the digital copy. Use code Lolly for $5 off the pre-order.
Fantastic. As for us, next stream I think is Monday. We're going to be playing some We're in Danger, continuing our like 1915 Hollow Earth, Journey to the Center of Earth kind of pulpy adventure. Tuesday we got some Wild Sea. Next Thursday we are actually off. Normally we'll be playing Coriolis in that spot, but we're not going to be there next week. And then we'll be back next Saturday with more of this game, this One Ring or One Key Ring game, something like that. Anyhow. We're going to get out of here. I'll raid someone here in a second, but have a great rest of your night. Great rest of your weekends. We'll see you all later. Bye-bye.
Farewell.